Hiya, hello, and welcome back to another One Piece chapter review slash live reaction. Chapter 1089 is out, so without further ado, let's hop right into reading it. We should be returning to Egghead Island, so that's going to be very interesting to see the Straw Hats active in the story again after so long. Chapter title is Under Siege, and we have a nice little fan request cover art. It's Nami drawing charts and being served warm milk by a cow. Got Sanji passing a note to her through the cow. The stars are almost as beautiful as you, Nami-san. Would you like to come watch them with me, Sanji? Nami giving a note back. This is thanks, but I saw them earlier. Nice to see Nami doing Nami things. Okay. Okay, this the chapter is starting in Luffy's home village. East Blue, Fuchsia Village. News races around the world. Did you hear about Garp-san? Missing in action on Pirate Island? What's that mean? It doesn't say dead, right? Got the mayor. There's no need to worry about him. He's a living legend. Makino. Yeah, the mayor's right. The mayor again. Yeah, haha. You think this is funny? What? Sorry, I didn't realize it was you. So the baby was laughing? Makino speaking. I guess we're all a little on edge of a Garp sign. Even the baby's starting to recognize Luffy's face from all the photos. You really love seeing Big Bro Luffy, don't you? Well, that's interesting. They're still not showing the baby's face, which is interesting. Looks like the baby has light colored hair. Baby is interested in Luffy. The common theory is that this kid is Shanks' kid, and this kid is going to look up to Luffy the way Luffy looked up to Shanks, and it looks like that, at least that part may be shaping up to be true. This kid really does seem to like Luffy, so perhaps by the end of the story, Luffy will return to his home village and actually meet this child. Okay, next panel. We've got Dadan and the bandits. Garp, Luffy, what are you doing? Huh? She's reading the paper. East Blue. Wah, yeah, earthquake. South Blue. It's a tsunami. Get to higher ground. No earthquake in recorded history. West Blue. Okay, so all the four blues are feeling an earthquake apparently. No earthquake in recorded history matched the one felt that day. We got the West Blue and then the North Blue. It's a big one. It caused untold destruction across the world. This has to be Blackbeard's doing. Grand Line. We've got Laboon reacting. No one could determine the epicenter. We've got Iceberg reacting in Water 7. So the significance of this geological event went unnoticed. We've got Hina on a Navy ship feeling it, and even Wano, they're feeling it. Momonosuke's there. There's no trace of it left, just a massive hole. It's like a circular waterfall in the middle of the sea. We can't sail any closer, but it doesn't look like the hole will collapse on itself. The ensuing earthquakes caused the global sea levels to rise by approximately 1 meter. So thinking about this, Looking at the big hole here, I believe this is where Emu used the weapon to take out Elucia. There's a giant hole basically in the planet. The attack from the weapon was so powerful that it shook the entire planet, caused earthquakes, tsunamis. It raised the sea level, the global sea level, by approximately 1 meter. And my thoughts immediately go to Water 7, which has been sinking. I'm wondering if how many times this weapon has been used in the past, over the past 800 years. And if the usage of this weapon is a huge contributing factor to why Water 7 is sinking. And if this hole, it says the hole will, it doesn't appear to be collapsing on itself. Doesn't look like the hole will collapse on itself. So do these holes ever fill in? Or do they just take a really long time to fill in? That's going to be interesting going forward. Okay, let's get back to reading. Many of the world's shores. We've got Kamabaka Kingdom. What is happening? The tide has never gotten this high before. It will recede eventually, won't it? We're lost beneath the waves. So many of the world's shores were lost beneath the waves. So that speaks to what I was just speculating about. Certain shores, low-lying shores, were getting washed away by this sudden raise in the global sea level. How are we meant to run on the beach now? So it took out the beaches on Kamabaka Kingdom, apparently. So that beach where they ran along and chased Sanji is washed away underwater right now. And some islands were submerged entirely. Everything's flooded. We can't stay here. There's a shark in my house. Reports of flooded islands are still coming in. Woof woof. You've got an island that's been completely overrun by the water. And people escaping on little ships. There's nothing that really identifies this island. All we can see is palm trees and part of one rocky outcrop. So we don't know exactly where this is. I don't think it's anywhere we've seen before in a story, so it might be a random place. It shouldn't be high tide yet. I'm sure to get a big catch on a day like this, you numbskull, going fishing would be suicide. There's the mayor, so this is back in Luffy's hometown. The mayor just reacting. What's he reacting to? Just a high tide? I guess so. Okay, back to the new world. Egghead Island, the island of the future. A massive force is surrounding the island, possessing more than enough firepower to put a Buster Call to shame. So okay, this is not a Buster Call level attack. This is a force even bigger than a Buster Call. Would I call this a Marineford level Navy activity? Let's see. I don't know. Let's count the ships here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. At least 14 ships I can see on the panel here. Now heading toward Egghead. Probably not Marineford level, but it is way bigger than a Buster Call. Okay, next page. The fleet is comprised of over 100 ships of various size and class. Uh-oh. Wow, it's a mega monster. So Egghead is sending out some defenses. Some kind of mecha here is seen biting into one of the Navy ships. There are 20 great warships among them. and a total of 30,000 Marines. 30,000. Here we've got a Marine ship firing a laser through one of the mecha. And that is interesting. Regular Marine ships don't have lasers. So that indicates that either this is the ship Kizaru is on, Kizaru and St. J. Garcia, or there's a Seraphim on this ship firing a laser, because trying to remember, do all the Seraphim fire lasers? I can't recall. Unless they have Devil Fruit powers. And normally they use those. So it could be a Pacifista also, since they do still have Pacifista, but... Okay. I'll move on from that. Next page. Hey, Unc, didn't I tell you not to lay a hand on the weaponized sea beast? They started it. This operation is being spearheaded by nine Navy headquarters vice admirals. So 9 vice admirals are leading the charge here. You've got some... Okay, I believe that one is Doberman, the guy with the X scars on his face and the mustache. And we've got 3 new ones here. A guy with a huge black beard. A woman with short hair and a spiked collar and smoking. I believe I've seen her before in one of the earlier chapters. Another guy with sunglasses on and a mustache. And a big chin with a cleft. You got this guy with square sunglasses and a long black beard with a single white-gray strand patch in it. He's also got a white patch in his hair. I think you might have seen him before. Got this weird-looking guy with... How many chins is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chins? 6 chins? It's weird. Could be a long neck tribe, maybe? Not entirely sure. Got a guy with kind of messy, unkempt hair. He's wearing glasses. We've got a guy with jagged, sharp teeth and a sword. An old woman. And Admiral Kizaru. So 9 Navy HQ Vice Admirals and Kizaru are leading this charge. We got Kizaru eating ramen. You aren't making this easy for me, Sentomaru-kun. Can't you just come out and surrender? That chance will be ready for you if you try something like that again, Unc. So Sentomaru is communicating with Kizaru. And like I said, Kizaru is eating ramen, and I guess it's a lunch break or something, because there are other Navy officers around getting ramen. Navy Admiral Kizaru or Salino. Oh my, I'm absolutely terrified. Grandpa Punk based a pacifista's lasers off the research he did on your powers. Well, that confirms one thing that we pretty much already knew already. Oh, we've got a flashback here. That's so cool. Young Kizaru firing a laser up into the sky. Young child Sentomaru saying that's so cool, and Vegapunk watching. I can't believe you're here to kill him, Sentomaru. Sentomaru-kun, no one is. No one can protect him from his own choice to do research on the Void Century. I'm just a cog in the machine. So, stopping to think here for a minute. Of course, Kizaru worked closely with the science division, and judging from this flashback, it seemed like at one point they were all kind of friends, which makes sense. And Kizaru is not really, doesn't seem to be expressing any regret over having to come here and kill Vegapunk, which kind of goes in with his lazy attitude towards things. He's just says he's just a cog in the machine. Yet Vegapunk can't be protected from his own choice to research the Void Century. Thinking about it, I don't think Kizaru would like betray the Navy or do something to let them escape. That's probably not in the cards. So okay, let's get back to reading. Anyway, this fight isn't exactly in our best interest. Everything we break is a net loss for us. At this point, I think it's fair to assume that Rob Lucci and the others failed to complete their assassination mission. Thanks to the Straw Hats inside a certain warship. Okay, we've got St. J. Garcia reading the newspaper and eating. Make sure no one knows I am here. Yes, sir. The Straw Hat Pirates storm Egghead to take Vegapunk hostage. This is a good article. It's one of Morgan's. And we've got the card again, the title card again. 5 Elder Planets, Warrior God of Defense, Science, St. J. Garcia Saturn, eating a loaf of bread with a fork. And what is the reality of the situation? There's Doberman speaking. Sir, we have yet to receive any word from Cyberpol Zero on whether their mission was a success. However, we can draw our own conclusions based on Sentomaru's resistance. It can safely be assumed that Dr. Vegapunk and his 6 satellites are up in the Labostratum, along with the 4 Seraphim assigned to protect them. And it seems likely that they have joined forces with the Emperor Straw Hat. His crew has 10 members. Our advance guard included 3 members of CP0, Rappalucci, Kaku, and Stussy. There are also a number of other Cypherpol agents, but it seems like they've been captured in the Fabrio Stratum by Sentomaru and his battalion of Mark III Pacifista. As for the Frontier Dome, it is currently at 100%. We can be certain that nobody can get in or out of the Labostratum. And St. J. Garcia is still chewing on his food and thinking while listening to this report. Unfortunately, we have no way of knowing what has transpired on the interior of the dome in the last day or so. Now St. J is speaking, and where have the researchers and workers of Egghead gone? Doberman, they evacuated yesterday, but we have tracked and confirmed the current positions of their ships. And here's St. J. Garcia. And what would we do if they got away? They might know something. Sink them immediately. Yes, sir. So that confirms that, just like O'Hara, the Navy will be sinking any escaping ships that have civilians on them. So they are planning a full Ohara style elimination of everything related to the island. Okay, next part. Saint Saturn, your warship. Or Saint Saturn, your warship. There's one more thing. The glutton, Jewelry Bonnie, was reported to be on the island too. Ah, Kuma's daughter. Well, we no longer have any use for her, but given that she is just a little girl, you can leave her be. Understood. Wait a second. I'm pausing here to think. Kuma's daughter, we no longer have any use for her, but given that she is just a little girl, you can leave her be. So, Saint J. Garcia just for first he referred to Kuma's daughter as a little girl, so this could be confirmation of Bonnie's age, that Bonnie is actually a child, and her current form, the form that we all recognize her as, it could be an aged up form, and not her actual true form that matches her true age. And we did have people speculating throughout the community that Jewelry Bonnie hadn't revealed her true form that correlates to her true age yet. And if this is any indication, what I'm reading here, then St. J confirms that Bonnie is just a little girl, which kind of matches with her attitudes and behaviors, what we've seen of her in the story so far. There's also the thing that Kuma, or that St. J. Garcia would let her live. Hmm. The question is, why would St. J. Garcia allow Bonnie to live, even if there's a possibility that Bonnie has learned something related to the Void Century because she's on Egghead Island? Her being a little girl should be no excuse because, going back to Ohara, the Navy was entirely willing to kill Robin, and they even put a bounty on Robin's head after they found out that she escaped alive as a little girl. So, with that logic, it's not that she's a little girl, that her being a little girl is no reason for the Celestial Dragon to let her go if they suspect that she knows something about the Void Century. Hmm. Could this be related to Kuma? Because we have some mystery surrounding Kuma's past. He, hmm. Kuma's a king. Could that be a reason? Not sure. No, because the world government is entirely willing to wipe out kingdoms if they oppose or threaten their rule in any way. So Kuma being a king shouldn't be reason enough to excuse Bonnie in this situation. Hmm. We haven't got confirmation of all 20 of the original founding kingdoms. Could Kuma be... No. No, he couldn't be because there was only one kingdom that refused to become... There was only one kingdom that refused to become what would be the Celestial Dragons. At least one kingdom that we know of. And that is Alabasta, the royal family of Alabasta. There's no way Kuma was a celestial dragon either, so that's out of the question, at least so far. So yeah, there's a question mark about why St. J. Garcia is willing to let Bonnie survive this incident. Because she's on Egghead, and by all rights, she should be a target to be killed just like everyone else that's on Egghead. So it has something to do with either her being Kuma's daughter or something else. But it shouldn't, because there's nothing special about Kuma to the world government other than the fact that he apparently used to be a slave. And he's formerly a king. He's probably a king that rebelled against the world government. Ended up becoming a pirate and a revolutionary. But there is a question about why Bonnie. So okay, back to reading. This is Kizaru-san. We picked up a transmission from Egghead. It appears to be a long-range call. The Holy Land of Marijua. This is Marijua, over. Admiral, you have a black transponder snail on your left arm. Yeah? That means you can listen in. Okay, so this is a call to Marijua. And the little Navy officer is telling Kizaru that he has a black transponder on his left arm, and he can use that to listen in to the call. Okay, so it's a wait a minute. Yeah. It's a transmission from Egghead to Marijua. And Kizaru is about to listen in on it and spy and hear what's happening. Okay, let's continue reading. The Room of Authority. Hey, this is York speaking. Oh, it's you. You guys are so rude. Why the heck are you trying to kill me, too? I went out of my way to tell you about the Stella's betrayal. You did do that. But then again, you are Vegapunk just as much as he is. If I had any interest in the Void Century, why would I blab about it? If I had any interest in the Void Century, why would I blab about it? It makes no sense. That's true. In any case, you've done well to survive this long. Didn't CP0 pay you a visit? And what happened to that Straw Hat Pirates? Since I'm the one calling you, I'll let you take a wild guess. You do realize that I have Seraphim under my control, right? The fact that I survived the night shouldn't come as a shock. Anyway, what's with this fleet you've got buzzing around the island? Are you trying to wage war on little old me? As a matter of fact, York, you've had a change of heart on that matter. Am I right in thinking that you're capable of replicating the Mother Flame alone? Okay, that's a pretty big drop. But expected. So replicating the Mother Flame alone. locating the mother flame alone. This confirms Vegapunk's involvement with the mother flame, or mother flame, which means either he built it himself from the ground up, or he built it using an ancient weapon as the model, and he built based on that. Either way, Vegapunk should be able to replicate the mother frame, and the Stellas should be able to replicate it if they have the same knowledge as Vegapunk. This indicates that the world government is willing to keep York alive if she knows how to build the mother flame. So the world government is looking to build a second mother flame, which indicates that they currently only have one operational, or one. Kizaru is listening in on all of this. So, what action would he take? Feels like there should be a reason for Kizaru to overhear this. Would he decide to let Vegapunk escape now that he learns the world government is going to let York escape? And both of them have the same knowledge of the Void Century anyway. Or, in theory, they should have the same knowledge of the Void Century. But Kizaru hasn't cared about the hypocrisy of the world government in the past. But since he has a personal connection here to Vegapunk and Tomaru, I do think he would rather not kill them if there was some possibility of not killing them. So, okay, let's get back to reading. Oh, will you look at that? So you do want something from me. I'm glad I sent it. Indeed, this is a special quest we're acting on. A request? From whom? Either way, if that's what you want. The power station I need to make it is here. Translator note, the kanji can be read as fusion reactor. So the power source needed to make the mother flame is on Egghead. Interesting. The power station / fusion reactor is on Egghead. So now the world government is looking at the possibility of getting York out of Egghead. York and the fusion reactor. Taking them to Mary Joie probably, so that they can build a second mother flame. They still want to wipe out the island and kill everyone involved in this incident. Okay. Get back to reading. York, just promise you won't lay a finger on my lovely laboratory. Very well. Also, I still want to be a celestial dragon. That can be arranged. And you've got a deal. There's just one other thing I need to do first. Or one other thing I need you to do first. Save me! Straw Hat Luffy is here and he's going to kill me. What? What? What the hell? So all of the celestial dragons are reacting. Kizaru's reacting, and he says, "What the hell?" Overhearing that. Please crush these psychos. We have a big shot here, group shot. Zoro is sitting down. He's casually holding his sword over Vegapunk. Usopp is doing the communications. He has the transponder snail. He's holding the receiver out to York, who's laying on the ground. And he's got a receiver on so he can listen to the conversation as it's going. We've got Nami there with the bubble gun, Jinbei in the back eating, Luffy standing over top of York eating meat. Okay, Nami, I see everything's finally coming into focus. Luffy, I don't really get it. We can just use her as a human shield and get away, right? Bonnie, who's eating, it looks like pizza. Does this mean we're under siege? Vegapunk. So that's how it is. There's Brook. He's got a space helmet on, looks like. Sort of space helmet thing. Chopper and Frankie in the background. There's Lucci in the background. Sanji, he's making food. Don't see Kaku anywhere. Oh, I'm noticing. York is chained to the ground. She's got chains on her arms. Okay. So yeah, the Straw Hats have York held hostage. And obviously they overheard everything she said to the world government on the call. Because I guess they had her call the world government. So are they using her as bait? But either way, the Straw Hats are definitely in control of Egghead. The situation on the island, at least. Now the question is, now that the Celestial Dragons know that York is being held hostage by the Straw Hats, will they decide that it's just not worth it to try and rescue her, just let her die along with everyone else if they attack and destroy the island completely? Or is her knowledge and ability to create the Mother Flame worth enough to the world government that they will go ahead and siege a war to rescue York? Hmm. And another break next week. Okay. So, okay, another break. Got the question of Bonnie. Got the question of Bonnie. Why St. J. Garcia was willing to let Bonnie survive this. We've got the question of York. What the world government is going to do in regards to York. Whether they rescue her or decide that she can just die with the rest of the island. And I guess that all comes down to Emu. Whether Emu wants a second Mother Flame, or if Emu thinks that having just the one is enough. Okay. And since the Straw Hat sent that transmission, that means they heard everything she was saying. Which means they now know about the Mother Flame. Vegapunk probably would have told them about the Mother Flame anyway, but this just confirms that they all know about it. And there's going to be a question of what they do knowing that the Mother Flame is a thing going forward. Kind of seems like they don't really have to care about it that much right now, because the world government doesn't seem to deploy it to destroy things like small things like pirate crews. They would use it to destroy whole islands. Islands if they have dangerous information, but actually Egghead does seem like it would be a candidate to be destroyed by the Mother Flame. But it could be that since the Mother Flame was already deployed against Elysia, it has to recover, or maybe it takes a long time to travel from island to island. So using this naval force, this Buster Call times 100 style naval force is more efficient than using the Mother Flame. Also, they have to keep it secret, so they can't use it too much. So that's a very interesting chapter. Good setup. Nice reveal at the end. We've got the Straw Hats all in action here. We know that they are in control of the situation on Egghead now. It does make me curious how they well, it doesn't make me that curious, but there is a question of how they defeated the Seraphim. Or maybe they didn't defeat the Seraphim, they just were able to get to York and capture York. And capturing her, they were able to get her to give the order to the Seraphim to stand down. These are probably things of, yeah, these are probably things that they will go through over the next few chapters. How we get to this situation here. Yeah, and then we'll have to explain what exactly happened with Luffy and Vegapunk, because they seem to disappear from the island for a while. We'll also have to explain Bonnie, what she saw and learned from the Kuma's memories, and what she has resolved to do after learning that. So yeah, over the next few chapters, my guess is that they will flash back a little bit and show us at least how some of these points got resolved and how the Straw Hats got to this situation where they're in control of the island. Shame that we've got another break, but not entirely unexpected. So yeah, that will be it for this review. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.